we brought a report from Zamfara State about the police killing 2 suspected armed bandits with others fleeing with possible gunshot wounds, as well as conflicting figures about cases of kidnapping in that state in recent time. I'm being joined at this time now by a security expert, Bish. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Well, these attacks seem to have resurged after the general elections. What is the connection between these attacks and politics?
Well, thank you and good evening. Good evening, and thank you for having me. I think at this point in time, in my own view, I think it would be too premature to try to link what is happening in Zamfara State currently with, with politics. Because what has happened in Zamfara recently is no different from what has been happening in the state in the previous times. So I would say that it would be too premature to link it to politics. I think it's the same, the same rogue actors that have been operating in the state. They're the same people that are still operating now. Probably during the election, they never had the opportunity to carry out their normal and usual activities. But since after the election, we see them rearing their ugliness again. So I wouldn't link it to politics yet.
All right. We know also that some people have linked banditry in Zamfara State to the issue of mining. Can we envisage an end, really, to this menace?
Okay. You mean mining of mineral resources?
Mineral resources, yes, please. Okay.
Now, you cannot disconnect what is the insecurity in that area from, illicit mining activities. Because if you follow history and if you look at who, not just Zamfara State, but even in other places around the country and even across the, around the globe, anywhere you have illicit mining of mineral resources, you see, a lot of money are washed and in the hands of rogue actors, and that always leads to insecurity as the various groups and gangs battle each other on who dominates what resources and in which area. So illegal or illicit mining activities cannot be disconnected from the insecurity that we have in Zamfara State.
And now there's even another twist to it. There are calls for the government to withdraw military personnel posted to one of the villages where these attacks have been taking place. But the state government is insisting that it will not bow to pressure. What do you make of that development?
I think it would be a tragedy. It would be suicidal to say that the military should be withdrawn from those areas. Because even the presence of the military in any area is enough deterrence to criminal activities. Now, you can say that there and yet all these criminal activities are taking place, but I want to tell you that if they withdrew, or had they been withdrawn before now, maybe would have had a much, higher rate of this kind of criminal activities taking place. So I would think that it would be ill-advised for anyone to say that they should withdraw the military from those areas. Instead, we should even ask for more military presence in those areas. And we will also advise that maybe the military should work more with, the local security arrangements to be able to see how we can bring, the level of insecurity in those areas under control. But withdrawing the military will be ill-advised.
So that's the place of intelligence gathering. But then also there are talks about the fact that for any government to make a headway in dealing with these challenges of insecurity, there has to be that political will. First, do you see the availability of that political will? And two, is that even enough?
Well, first and foremost, I would say that one of the first ingredients to dealing with the situation, sure, is political will, having leaders that are able to take the bull by the horn. But having said that, political will alone is not enough to be able to deal with all these problems. To deal with insecurity requires the collaboration and cooperation of not just our political leaders, but also religious leaders, traditional rulers, and ordinary citizens. I think we all have to find a way to come together, all of these various stakeholders, if we are to be able to tame the insecurity that we have in the land. Yeah, so political will, good.
Very much for sharing with us at this time. Security expert Bish Johnson.